a man that has been playing the character of Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless, which is in season 46 on CBS. None other than the Emmy Award-winning actor Eric Braeden. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Rich. When I think of it, I've been on it 39 years. That's a hell of a long time, you know.
It's a heck of a run.
Whoa.
It's a heck of a run.
Yeah.
I know.
My God. You were born in 69?
Yes.
That's right.
I'm about to turn 50.
11 years later. When you were 11 years old,
Yes.
I started YNR.
Yes, you did.
Can you imagine that?
I'm sure, I was flipping it on, tuning it in. I was a General Hospital guy growing up.
You
a little
were?
bit. But then I turned to
Wrong
Young and
show.
the Restless. I know it's the wrong show.
No, you know.
But then I turned to Young and the Restless. I've seen it.
You know who else watches General Hospital?
Who's that?
Stephen A. Smith.
See, now, let's get to this here. I'm holding up the book right here.
Yeah,
I'll Be Damned, which is your book that came out a couple of years ago.
that's right.
And it says at the bottom, forward by Stephen A. Smith.
Wait, no way.
No way. That is
How do you know Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen and I have known each other for a while. I forget. I would have to ask my publicist. Long time. Yeah, great guy. And
He
but
watches
I
the-
said you're watching the wrong show. So obviously you are as well.
Well, I was.
were.
I'm just
You've
telling
changed
you
your
when I
mind now.
first got into, when I was, 10, 11 or what have you. Because, but we're touching on something here is that the number of sports people, athletes especially, who watch soap operas, it's a sleeper community.
It's amazing.
It's an immense sleeper community,
They
right?
did an interview with me on Sports Illustrated, the only time they ever interviewed an actor, because Franz Liszt was the writer. And he interviewed the Yankees. I said, what do you do in your time off? He said, we watch soaps. Which one? YNR. Which character? Victor. So since that time, I've known that a lot of athletes watch the show.
Do you got names? Drop me names that have come up to you that you've met throughout the years?
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Ali was a fan.
All right, let's walk me through that one.
And Ali was a fan. And he had his 50th birthday party at Chasen's on Beverly Boulevard, the old Chasen's.
Here in Los Angeles.
Right. And he invited me, and I took my son, and I thought, why would he invite me? He's a big fan of the show. And then one day, he was obviously enormous respect for the man. And his dealing, we once went on a plane from Philadelphia to LA, and we talked to each other in the plane, and then we walked through LAX. And I've never seen anything like it. People stopped in their tracks to look at him. Say, champ, from 6 to 90. All races, all ethnic groups, doesn't make a difference.
Right.
And he had a little time for everyone. That so impressed me. The only other person that impressed me along those lines was Pelé, who also met in circumstances like that. Just so nice and giving with fans.
Who is this?
Pelé,
Okay, Pelé.
the biggest
Yes,
soccer player in the world.
Sure, yeah.
Pelé and Ali were the two most famous athletes in the world.
Was Pelé
Period.
a Young and the Restless?
No,
fan?
he was not. No, he was not.
So that was just.
No, he lives in Brazil. But then one
Yeah,
day,
it's worldwide. You got 120,000 daily viewers worldwide.
120 million.
120 million. That's right. I missed a couple of zeros. 120 million
A few
worldwide.
million. So
Right.
then one day, let me tell you, at CBS, stage manager knocks at the door and said, do you mind if George Foreman says hello?
Mm-hmm.
I said, do I mind? Yeah, I'm a huge boxing fan. I used to do it myself a little bit. And he came in. He said, man, I'm blessed. I said, you are blessed, my man. I'm blessed. George Foreman, one of the hardest, most fearsome guys in the ring ever. I've not met Tyson, but George Foreman and Ali, two of my heroes.
But you're Eric Braeden, who plays Victor Newman on Young and the Restless here on the Rich Eisen Show. You're a diehard, from what I've been told, UFC fan, right? You're locked into the UFC world right now?
I'm a fan of look, I love football. Love to watch football.
What's your team in football?
Well, right now it's the Rams again.
Okay, yeah.
I hated them for a while because they left town. I used to be a fan after that of the Raiders. Hated them when they left town. And when the Rams came back, I said, to hell with you. And then now I'm slowly becoming a big fan of them.
Because they're
And
pretty good.
I love their coach, McVay. He is one of the first guys I've seen on the sidelines who doesn't have that macho swagger. You know, he's a real guy, very smart, unpretentious.
Yes.
You can see his wheels turning. He's a very smart guy. And I now am becoming a fan of the Rams again.
Well, that's good.
I remember Merlin Olsen, Rosie Greer, Deacon Jones, Lamar Lundy.
The Fearsome Foursome.
That's
Well,
right.
that's, by the way, also some good actors in there, too, right?
I think Merlin Olsen.
Merlin
acted
Olsen,
for a
Rosie
while.
Greer's
That's right.
appeared on some things. Deacon
That's
Jones
right.
would appear
That's
on
right.
occasion on some
The
things.
Fearsome Foursome. That's how long I've been a fan of the Rams.
For sure.
In the 60s.
And they come back
The
around.
first game I saw in the old Coliseum against the Vikings in 1963 or somewhere around then. And I hadn't seen football before. I'd come from Germany in 1959. And I thought, wow, what a game.
That's right.
I would have loved to have played the game, to be honest with you. Would have loved it. Just hitting and all that.
Just
I
hit
love
some
it.
people, right? So, but you are a fan. Is there any specific fighter, UFC fighter, that you're?
Well, I have
partial
to
to?
say, arguably the best ever is Bones Jones, John Bones Jones, who just fought against Smith.
Yes.
He was so dominant. Bones Jones had his best fight, his hardest fight, against Gustafsson, the tall Swede, about his same height, or a little taller, actually. Great fighter, great punches. Beyond that, Randy Couture, all those old guys, you know, enormous respect for them. And Hickson Gracie. The Gracie family brought UFC, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, to America. And they beat Restless, the top wrestlers. They beat the top boxers. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Higgin Machado, Hickson Gracie, the Gracie School of Jiu-Jitsu, I have great, great respect for.
Eric Braeden here on the Rich Eisen Show, and we're noticed in a clip that we just showed in our television-only segment, one of your colleagues on Young and the Restless, who seems to be he's a very Sean McVay-looking dude, to be honest with you.
That's right. Thad
and-
Luckenbill.
Sorry?
Thad Luckenbill,
Thad Luckenbill.
who produced Sicario
Okay.
1 and 2.
Very good.
That's right.
All right. So you're in a scene where you go back and forth with him, and then you proceed to kick his ass. Now, let me ask you this question. It looks like you. There's no stunt double? The old Eric Braeden boxing days?
I used to box in 78th and Hoover, right here in the ghetto, and 108th and Broadway, and in the real ghetto gyms. you
Okay.
know.
So that's the guy that we're seeing on screen right now? You're moving around.
That's me.
and you're-
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. I still do. Keep fit.
Okay.
Every morning I do 100 straights, 100 hooks, and 100 uppercuts, just to wake up.
I drink coffee. Wow.
I'm a little older than you are. You know, but you got to keep it up. Never give up. Never give
I
up.
like it.
Never.
Okay.
You know?
I do. I look forward to living that every
What is
single
it?
day.
Do not go gentle into this good night. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light. That's Dylan Thomas. Remember the old Welsh poet, Dylan Thomas?
Sure, of course.
Wonderful.
So I have here, if you don't mind, Eric Braeden here on the Rich Eisen Show. We have printed out, word for word, verbatim, 3 of the great sports rants of all time. And we would love for you to do your best Victor Newman. Mike Del Tufo has the music, the soap opera music. I'm going to hand it to you right here. If you wouldn't mind, I'll set them up for you one by one. And just you give us the good old Victor Newman college try. Is that okay?
Now,
Let's do
the
it.
first one is Herm Edwards.
Yes, Herm Edwards. The first one up, Herm Edwards on October 30th, 2002, after a Week 8 loss to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
Here is play to win the game as told by Victor Newman, a.k.a. Eric
So in other
Braeden.
words, he's pissed off after losing the game.
Yes, he is. Well,
And, you know, I coached my son's team for 25 years in soccer.
okay.
So I know what it means to be pissed off as a coach.
Okay. That's your motivation. Mike Del Tufo, hit it, please.
This is great about sports. This is what's the greatest thing about sports, is you play to win. Hello? You play to win the damn game, right? You don't play just to play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win the game. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go to play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, get your out of here, then retire. Because it matters.
Well done. That's number one. Next up, on October 16th, 2006, after the Cardinals blew a 20-point lead against the Bears on Monday Night Football.
Oh, man.
Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were, as portrayed by Victor Newman.
That must have hurt.
Hit it, Mike Del Tufo.
Bears are who we thought they were, you know? That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the damn hook.
Very good. Very well done. All right, last one for
I
you.
can feel it. I can feel it.
I'm glad that we got it rolling, because here's the last one.
I can feel it. Oh.
On May 7th, 2002, the famed practice press conference of one Allen Iverson, as recounted by the man who plays Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Hit it, Mike Del
The
Tufo.
great Allen Iverson, my God, man.
Go for it.
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice, okay? Not a game. Not a game. Not a game, all right? Man, we're talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? I know it's important. Yeah, I do. I honestly do. But we're talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice. We're talking about practice, man.
Eric, I think that's your finest work, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, thank you very much. That's awfully kind.
I mean, you've done a lot. You've been there. You've done that. That may be your finest work of all time.
Anyway, it was. I love it, and I have great respect for all these guys.
I know you do.
And what is Allen Iverson doing now? Is he still playing?
He's just being the king. He shows up at various games. I think he lives in Atlanta. I think something like that. Big Three. He's doing the Big Three. That's right. The Cube's
But he
Big
doesn't
Three.
play anymore.
Before I let you go, what was it like? You worked with Jim Brown just after he stepped off the field, right? In the movie 100 Rifles?
Jim Brown finished playing in '66.
Right.
He retired and did Dirty Dozen, and then he came and did 100 Rifles, 1969, in a film we did in the south of Spain with Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds. And this was during Franco's time. And Burt Reynolds was a good athlete, very good athlete.
From Florida State.
Yes, but Jim Brown was just,
He's Jim Brown.
he's one of the few specimen in the world to reach that level. He could have done anything. We threw the football to each other, and we threw the discus. He knew track and field as well. And we had a few political arguments, but interesting, intense arguments. At the time was the height of Vietnam, height of civil rights, and I have nothing but the greatest respect. And then years later, we played tennis. We had tennis matches.
Tennis?
And he was as competitive as I am, or he's even more competitive, I think. So, we play tennis.
I know he's in the Lacrosse Hall of Fame, right? I know that he's one of the greatest lacrosse players in the history.
He went to Syracuse.
Right.
Yes.
He's one of the Syracuse's greatest football and lacrosse players.
Correct.
But I've never heard tennis.
I haven't seen Jim. He, like I'd pick up any sport. So you want to compete, let's compete. I don't care what it is. Just compete. I don't care what it is. Show me the game. I practice for a while, then I compete with you. So in that sense, we were, brothers.
Eric, I'd love having you on, man. I'll Be Damned, which is a book written by a guy. I'm just looking at the back. You've got Tavis Smiley and James Cameron, Bill Maher writing some testimonies, and then Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. I'll say hello to Stephen A. I'll say hello to Stephen A. I see him, I think, day after tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where are you seeing him?
We're going to have dinner together.
You and Stephen A?
Yeah.
Will you tell him we said hello?
I will definitely do that.
Will you play the drop?
Right.
Will you play the drop for him? We've been
hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
That was when he
Porzingis.
Yeah. We've been, what do you say? We've been hoodwinked. What is it?
Hoodwinked.
Play it one more time.
We have been hoodwinked,
Bamboozled.
led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Oh, I remember. Write it
I
down.
love that. Now I want Stephen A. and Rich Eisen to do a 40.
You know what? I do
Stephen
that.
A., it's a challenge to you now.
Here, can you read my
You and
handwriting?
Rich Eisen do a 40.
I would do that, by the way.
I'm going to be there with a stopwatch, okay?
Hold on. Can you read my handwriting? We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. You got that? Can you do that? Is Victor Newman hit as we go to break? Hit it, Mike Del Tufo.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. I can't read writing here.
Flat out deceived.
Flat out deceived.
Run amok.
What?
Run amok.
Run him up.
Eric Braeden here, everybody. Check out Young and the Restless on CBS every day.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.